Good morning, students. Hope you all are doing good by God's grace. So, today we'll be talking about components of a map. We'll be learning about what are the basic components of a map. So, let's look into that. So before that, I want to talk about maps. So here we could see that there are directions here that there depicts about north, south, east and west. So here also it has been mentioned that it's a political map, a Tamil Nadu political map, and the places, the districts are all are there. For example, Chennai is there, Kanjipuram is there, Puducherry. So all the districts are mentioned. So these are small area. Districts consist of small area. We'll be looking into that in the coming let's talk about the 7 basic components. So first will be title, second will be scale, third will be legend or key, fourth will be direction, fifth will be source, sixth will be map projection and locational information, and seventh will be conventional signs and symbols. So first let's talk about title. So what is a title? So all these 7 components are very important in a map. Okay, so if we take one particular map, all these particular details has to be. If it's a perfect map, they should have all 7 components. Like there should be a title, there should be a scale, there should be a key, there should be a direction, there should be a source from which data they've taken, map projection and locational information also has to be mentioned, and also signs and symbols is very important, as we already saw. So the keys are very important and signs and symbols are very important. First we'll talk about title. So what is a title? Uh, for example, for us, we have name, right? We have each person has a name. So our parents or any elders or somebody has kept a name for you all. So same way, everybody has to have a name. So suitable name for a map is also required. So title has to be given. A map without a title, it's difficult for us to figure it out as to what it is all about. So here the picture depicts about United States of America. So the title is United States of America. The map is all about the United States of America. We could see the places. For example, we could see Montana, we could see North Dakota, we could see Lake City, Salt Lake City, we could see Colorado and Oklahoma, New Mexico, Colorado, and we could see Ohio, we could see North Carolina, we could see Florida, and so many places like this. So we could also see Texas, we could see how Hawaii is apart from United States of America, it's an island, right? So we could see Maryland, we could see South Carolina and so on, Austin, etc. So that is about it. So we could see the capital cities as well as the states. Okay. Next, we'll be talking about scale. What is a scale? So who are cartographers? Cartographers are people who create maps or update maps. So a scale is something they make it in a smaller version. For example, if the land is like 6 miles, they make it into they convert it into inches. For example, if it's 1 mile, they convert it into 1 inch. So it goes on. So it differs for some particular area. So it differs area to area. So here often the scale is shown with a scale bar or a line, and number is placed just below the title or somewhere at the bottom of the map. So scale is somewhere on the top, or top in the sense it's below the title, or somewhere at the bottom of the map. Okay. And for large areas like continents or countries, small scale maps are used. Okay. Because there are the particular details, minute details, we don't have to look into that. For bigger area or bigger place like continents or countries, but in the case of smaller areas like a taluk or district, we need to look into smaller minute details, right? So that's why we have large scale maps for smaller areas, and in the case of large areas like continents or countries, we use small scale maps. Okay. So what are map scales? So here Atlanta, that particular place has been shown here in the slide. So here we, as I already mentioned, inches will be converted into miles, centimeters will be converted into kilometers. As you all can see here, 1 centimeter is equal to 940 kilometers. 1 inch is equal to 1485 miles. So that's how it works. And here fraction is also given, representative fraction and verbal scale. So in scales there are 3 different ways: verbal scale, representative function, and also there are bar scale, graphical. Here we could see graphical or bar scale. So we are going to talk about statement or verbal scale and representative fraction or ratio scale. So here in the image you could see there, as I already mentioned, 1 inch is equal to 1 mile they've converted, 1 centimeter is equal to 1 kilometer. So that's how it works. So here, what is a statement or a verbal scale? 1 inch equals 1 mile. So they have given in words, so that is called verbal scale. And secondly, representative fraction or numerical fraction. They would give it as fraction, like numerator denominator will be there, like 1 by 63,360, or ratio scale. Ratio is 1 is to 63,360. So it's unit of length. So that is converted here. Next we'll be talking about direction. What is a direction? Directions on a map often given with symbol called a compass rose, which always shows north. North, south, east and west are directions. In map, directions are very important. Only because of directions we could locate the places, we could find out the places. So in map, directions are very important. Mostly it's about north. We use compass, right? For if we are riding in a ship, or if we are traveling by ship or boat, of course we need a compass for the directions. Are we going in the north side, or are we going the south side, or are we going the east side, or are we going the west side? We need to know. So for that we need direction. So in a map, directions are very important. Next we'll be talking about source. What is a source? So source, we take a lot of information from bibliography, from books, we take from websites. So here they've taken in one website. So presidential election results 2008 has been taken from this particular website. So they at the last at the end of the map, they've given the data source. So that is about data source. So source will be mostly given in the bottom of the map. Next, we'll be talking about map projection and locational information. What is a map projection? So the map, for example, Earth is a sphere, right? So we cannot show three-dimensional effect, right? So we have to project it in a one-dimensional part. So projection is done that way. And location information and map projection, we latitudes and longitudes are very important. So in a map, latitude and longitude is very important, that you all have to know. Next, we'll be talking about conventional signs and symbols. What is conventional signs and symbols? In a map, we need to have symbols, right? We need to have like for example, if we are marking about any railways, we need to know the symbol. For example, railway means you will have a track, so you will have to mark it in the side of the map. You will have to make sure that you mention it like railways. So there are symbols like this as mentioned in the slide. You all can put for roads, for walking, footpath, you can put dots. So pedestrian walking, you might have seen, seen it, right? You might have noticed dotted lines would be there. So that's how we have to mark it in a map. So keys and symbols are very important. So let's recall what we learned. So conventional signs and symbols, 7th component. 6th component will be map projection and locational information. 5th component will be source. And also I want to mention about key. Key is also like symbols. We need to know the key. Key, like if we are talking about like any routes, like for example Columbus, where he traveled, so you'll have to mark the route in a key, like in the mid, like you'll have to draw a square and mark how you marked. Okay, so that's how it works. So that's about it, about key. And next we'll see about direction. What is a direction? So we already saw it's about north, south, east, west. News, in full form, it's north, east, west and south. And then we spoke about scale and the what is about statement or verbal scale, representative, fraction, all. Then we spoke about the scale and then map scales, and then last but not the least we spoke about title. So this is how it works. So these are the 7 basic components of a map. So hope you all understood. World map, there's a country map, India map, there's continents based maps, Europe map. Europe is a continent. Asia map, we have a political map, we have state map, Tamil Nadu map, so and so. So there are a lot of maps, and these are the 7 components. So hope you all understood. So we spoke about title, we saw about scale, we saw about legend or key, we saw about direction, we saw about source, we saw about map projection, location information. Also we saw about conventional signs and symbols. So hope you all understood, girls. Hope it was informative, and don't forget, we are born to create history. Thank you, students. Hope you all understood, and not only you all have to learn more apart from my teaching. You all have to learn